Hey, this is Tyler with MCC. I'm back with Alexander and his other Toyota Corolla. And yes, I promise there's more donuts. Stay tuned for the full interview. It'll be a lot of fun.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Has anybody in the videos that you've done since you did my car done a donut or a burnout?
Still hasn't done a donut.
What?
Yeah.
Sad.
Oh. Yeah, you are. How do you do that?
Well, when you do it many times.
Yeah.
I'm not even that good. Like, I can't really drift very well, but I can still have fun.
Yeah. All right, so walk me through this car.
Yeah, so this is my 1986 Toyota Corolla. It is the coupe version, unlike the hatch version that you had on the previous video.
Yep.
This car I picked up in 2020, and it was essentially a bare shell with, you know, a couple of wheels and a motor in it. All this stuff that's in here, like the clock and the and the sunroof controls and the dome lamp, none of it was there, and none of it would have worked if I had it because there wasn't even a underdash harness. So I had to integrate that in so I could get the stuff in the cabin to work.
Oh, so you built this up from like bare bones.
Yeah, it was nothing. So it had a great engine swap in it, which is a great place to start with, but there was nothing. I mean, no interior, no seats, the whole underdash was gone, no door cards, no center console. The rear was all bare metal, no headliner, no pillar plastics, just nothing. So
you had to source all of that?
Sourced all of it, and I sourced probably 90% of it in the first year. I worked really hard at getting it to where I wanted it, and then the last 3 years have been kind of fine-tuning it, making it, you know, making it even better. So it's been a hell of a ride.
I'm sure.
The great thing is driving these cars since 2003. I've had, you know, just a lot of friends that also have these cars.
So they have spare parts and stuff.
Like, and I didn't pay internet prices for everything. So I was able to find stuff pretty quick. So then a couple years later, I had my friend Mo in Utah. He's a longtime Corolla guy that used to live up here in Idaho.
Okay.
His business is AE86 Preservation Societies, so you guys can find him on Instagram. He kits out all of the Corolla seats. He used to work for a upholstery shop that his family owns. So he did the interior in this car.
Oh yeah, that's what I was excited to talk about, is the interior.
Yeah, so the interior of this car is a little Easter egg that nobody will know here because our public transit sucks. Sorry, Boise. But
it's true.
It is true. But the pattern that's in the car is the same pattern that's in all the city buses here.
That's so cool.
I wanted like a funky kind of 80s, 90s vibe to the interior, but I also wanted it to have some sort of meaning behind it. So it seemed like a really fun idea. So it took a long time. I actually had to scour through a bunch of sample photos online, and finally I found the design, and then luckily they were able to cut enough fabric that I needed for a car, because usually these companies sell them in like, you know, hundreds of yards to outfit an entire fleet of buses.
Oh my God, I didn't even think of that. It's like a whole bus fleet.
I remember ordering it, and I was like, if they charge me a cut fee that's like the same cost as all the materials,
you're just gonna buy all the material?
No, I'm just gonna have to go back to square one and figure something else out, because I'm not gonna do it. No, and they shipped it for like $20 from Michigan to Utah. So got all that interior done, and just been.
It even smells like a bus.
Yeah, I think I'll take that as a compliment.
You should. No, you should.
Depends on the bus you're on, because if it's the bus itself that you get to smell, that's not bad. But if it's like the individuals on the bus, then there's like kind of, it could be problematic.
Questionable.
Yeah.
But that style seat and that interior, like I used to take a commuter bus into Boston all the time, like a coach bus, and they had like the exact same interior, different color, but like the same texture, same seats, everything. So they probably put those seats and that material in everything because it's super durable.
Yeah.
You have to worry about wearing it out.
Yeah, no, definitely not. It should last a very, very long time, which is really great.
Yeah.
So this is a CleanAce, which is a Japanese option air purifier, and I have been looking for one for years. Most people don't even know what it is. It wasn't offered in the States, but it was offered in Corollas and various other Toyota models. And essentially what it does is it just has a filter in it that purifies the air. And then you have a switch that wires into the dash so you can turn it on from there. And I really have no need for it other than it was a really cool piece, an original piece that most people here don't have and don't even know about. And so I got it, wired it up, and it's really cool because it was new old stock when I got it, came with all the wiring, and even the button, as you see, has all the fresh paint on it because it's never been used. And yeah, the instruction manuals are really funny. They got illustrations of people smoking in the car and showing how the smoke would get filtered through and make the cabin air nice and fresh. So I did that, and then, you know, even just a couple days ago, the transmission for the motor that I have in there sits about 6.5 inches farther back from original form. So I've been sitting on a relocation kit for the shifter for about 2 years, and took that.
I finally forced you to do it.
Yeah, undertook that. I'm so happy. Like it's so funny because with my cars, I just have a handful of cars and kids and work, and so I just put stuff off and put it off, and then I get it done, and I'm like, oh my gosh. This is so amazing. Why did I wait so long?
Yeah.
So it's good to have these.
It looks great.
Yeah, thank you. It's good to have these like motivational kicks in the butt to actually get after it and do it.
Have a reason to do it, like get on it. Yeah, for sure.
So I had a brake line that I showed you that was routed through the interior of the car. Yep. That I had to reroute. So I had to bleed the brakes after I did the shifter relocator.
God damn, dude. You have to do a lot of work.
I was going to have Nick come over and help me out with it, and then I thought, you know what, my 8-year-old could do this. Yeah. I just get stuck thinking that she's like, in my head, that she's younger than she is. Right. She's got she's got enough strength to really hammer on the brake pedal. So I'm like, hey, can you come out here? And she pumped the brakes while I bled them and didn't have to restart or anything. She did it perfectly. So
that's awesome.
If the brakes fail, you can blame her.
If I survive.
Yeah, that's right. It's an 86 Corolla, so the odds are not in your favor.
Gee, thanks.
So this car has the 3SGE Beams motor swap in it, which is about twice the horsepower as the factory GTS motor that came in the Corolla. So
yeah, it screams. This thing's like a race car.
Oh yeah. Yeah, gets it up pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. So, and then that comes with a 6-speed manual transmission, which is I guess pretty cool. So.
Oh wait, that's a 6-speed in there?
Yeah, it's a 6-speed.
Oh, because it's your little thing says 5.
That's just an old JDM shift
You're
knob.
just tricking people.
That's just the old trust knob.
Yeah.
I got that in there for all the people that know. But yeah, it's a 6-speed.
Dang, that's sick. That's cool.
Yeah. So it's kind of nice, like this car compared to the yellow car that you did. Yep. This one has a manual steering rack, and the yellow car has the power steering rack that came with it. So it's kind of nice, like.
Get a lot of feedback.
Having a little bit of a different feel depending on which car you jump in. Right.
So twice the amount of power, manual steering.
Yeah. A lot more input.
Yeah.
Feels a lot different. Then you get in the other Corolla and it feels like you're almost like in a luxury car. So everything's a little bit easier. Yeah. Which is laughable because it's Toyota Corolla from the 80s. The car is wrapped, so when I got it, it was white. I guess the front half was black and the rear of it was white, but it was essentially like either roll-on or spray painted. and all that paint was laid down over a nice healthy coat of surface rust.
Of course, yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, so I've got about 500 hours of sanding on this to get it where it needs to be so it doesn't, rot from the inside out.
Right.
And then it's wrapped. It's Avery Quicksilver Metallic is the type of wrap that's on there.
Love the color.
Yeah, thank you. It's been wrapped for about 3 years now, and it's held up really well.
Yeah,
so.
it looks, wow, that's really good for 3 years.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, what about the wheels? What do you have for wheels on this one?
The wheels are a 14-inch Work Equip 01.
Okay.
And this car came with some XXRs on it, and just kind of being the wheel snob that I am, I wasn't about that. And they were 15-inch, and contrary to a lot of cars out there, 15s are a no-no for me on this chassis.
You go 14s.
Yeah, 14s.
Yeah.
If I was really slammed to the ground, I could pull off 13s. But yeah, 14s are the sweet spot for these cars.
Yeah.
So that was actually the first thing I ever bought from Japan that was shipped over.
Oh, cool.
I'll never do C-Mill again because it took like 6 months to get here.
Yeah, I bet.
But yeah, I got those wheels on there, and these particular works are from the 80s.
Okay.
You can tell because the hardware on it, nice bug.
Yeah.
The hardware on it's actually a few less pieces around it than the newer ones.
Okay.
But
they look great.
Yeah,
I like those wheels too. All right, so why, now don't go through how you got the pop-up tent on here. I think I said camper top in the intro, but the pop-up tent, because you're going to do a video on that. So we'll make people go to that.
Yeah.
And then you just have to have that done before this comes out.
Right. More motivation. Yeah, that's it. I need the motivation to get stuff done. So this is great.
So, but why put the pop-up tent on here? Like, was that just a fun idea, or was that like, I'm actually had a purpose, or what was the story behind that?
Yeah, I don't know. It was just like something that I wanted to do for fun. I guess it was, you always see these overlanding guys that are out there on their Forerunners with their, and I thought, why not put it on a super low car?
Yeah.
And there's like one guy that did it on a Porsche 996.
Yes.
That a lot of you have probably seen online.
The white one, right?
I know he's put it on a few so far, but I think originally it was a white four-wheel drive version, whatever you call that. I don't have Porsche.
He drives a lot of miles too.
A lot of miles. So I thought, man, that's a really, really fun idea. And I always wanted to get the roof rack for the Corolla, but that was kind of the hard part, is that I had to do a lot of research because all the parts that allow you to put a rack on here are all discontinued. So I had to find out actually what pieces work for the car, which you can't just easily look up.
Yeah.
And finally, I never thought I was going to find all the pieces, and then finally I did, and I got plugged in with the right people, and then I ended up with like 3 different kits because I couldn't stop buying the parts. So then I got the tent, and no, I've actually used it multiple times up in the mountains.
That's cool.
It takes a little more scouting to find a spot that I can actually get the car into.
Right.
But it's really fun, and you definitely get a lot of interesting looks when you pull into a campground with this and set up the tent. Even
just here, like everyone's been their necks have just been turning since you opened the tent.
Yeah.
Like, what is that?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. So, yeah, it's just something a little different to go camping in.
Definitely.
You can't go, super long term just because you have space constraints to put all your stuff. But, yeah, I can fit a little wood stove if I need to have my own fire, and I can cook on top of that. I've got a little cast iron that goes on top of it, and I've got a portable refrigerator and stuff. So, yeah, and then my sleeping bag actually fits in the tent when it folds up, so I don't have to worry about space for that.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's really awesome.
You got push to start.
Yeah. Yeah, so the car didn't have any wiring harness at all. So right now the ignition is wired to a push start, and there's various switches in there that control the ignition and the fuel pump, and
just like a race car.
Stuff, just like a race car.
It smells like a race car, sounds like a race car. I don't know. I think it's as fast as a race car.
It's on coilovers and has all adjustable suspension arms on it.
Yeah, it sits really well in the corners and everything.
Yeah, limited slip differential, as you'll see with some of the tire count. Yep. So yeah, it's just a really fun little car to rip around in.
Now you like this one better than the hatchback, right? In your personal ranking, or you enjoy this one more?
I kind of go back and forth. I don't know. I mean, everybody loves the hatchback.
Right.
It's iconic because of a certain cartoon that I'm not going to mention. It's kind of like when a school shooting happens, you don't want to actually say the name to give it any credit.
Yes.
So,
sure.
But yeah, the hatch actually has significantly better storage capacity if you're putting stuff in the back. But a lot of times I just kind of like the look of this better, and so I guess it kind of pays off to have both of them, and then you have 2 different experiences because you have the motor that's got significantly different characteristic than the factory one, and yeah.
Now, how long have you had this one? When did you buy it?
I got this car in 2020, so I've had it for about four and a half years now.
Okay, so this is probably like the second longest car you've had.
Yep.
Or third, because the hatch is what, 7 years, 8 years? You said?
Yeah, I got the hatch like 7 or 8 years ago.
And you had one car you've had for 8 years before that.
Yep. I guess I got my Sylvia probably 3 months before I got this car.
Okay, so that one
I kind of went through a whole thing. I bought 3 cars in the same year. I got the Sylvia, and then I got this, and then the very next month I got my 87.
How stressed were you when you had those? Like,
it was
awesome.
awesome.
I have all these projects.
It was great. I was happy.
That's awesome.
Just found great deals. And,
yeah.
And,
now, but you bought this one primarily because of the motor it had in it, too?
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's a huge difference, right?
Yeah.
Like having a full built motor.
Yeah, I mean, and I've got scumbag friends. So
sure.
My friend Mark that I bought this from actually was selling 2 Corollas.
Okay.
And so my friend reached out and was like, hey, you want to go halvesies with me on this? And of course I said yes.
Yeah.
So I wasn't
really looking. It's a great investment. It's a good idea. Yeah. You should do it.
I wasn't looking to buy it, and then it just happened. So.
And here you are.
Here we are.
Sweet.
Sitting on a tent in the mountains.
Sitting on a tent in the mountains on top of a Corolla. Okay, it's getting late here, and it's going to get cold, so we're going to get in there and cozy up. So make sure to like and subscribe, and let us know what you think of this cool Corolla. Make sure you go over to F2 Garage on YouTube to check out how this cool tent ends up on this car. Alexander will be posting a video soon showing everybody how to do that. So yeah, thanks again.